Good evening, everyone. Panchajanya, the divine counsel of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, which was blown during Kurukshetra, indicating the start of the Dharma Yuddha that followed. There, all the efforts were done for the establishment of Dharma. Dharma was kept over personal relations and motives. Keeping the same motive in mind, our organization will work towards establishing the importance and necessity of following and imbibing Bharatiya culture, accepting our roots and making people realize the true essence of Ayurveda, not only as a treatment modality, but also as a way of life. All these while walking in the path of Dharma. Hence the motto, Shreyam Bharatiyam Arogyam Ayurvediyam. The founders of this organization started this because they felt the need to spread the knowledge of Bharatiya culture, Ayurveda. The true history of Bharatarashtra and values to all strata of people in every corner of the world. Also, the founders being Ayurveda aspirants know the inside out of medical field. Hence, they aim to make people aware of this and also try their best to solve this on the go. With this aim in mind, I would like to welcome you all to the PRAJNAVARIDHI lecture series conducted for first year students. Today, we have Vedhya Nithin Kumar sir, who, ha- who is presently working as the Associate Professor, Department of Shareera Rachana in SDMCA Udupi. Sir is an editorial board member of RGUSS Journal of Ayush. Sir has guided 8 PG dissertations and co-guided 11 PG dissertations. He is a recognized UG, PG, PhD examiner and question paper setter, PhD Committee of RGSS, KUHS, Anapoya University, Amrita University, Pondicherry University. He is a resource person in Ayurveda and he has delivered guest lectures on various topics. Sir has participated in national, international seminars, CMES, workshops, and presented the scientific papers. Sir has published 30 articles in national and international journals, magazines, and awards. He has been awarded as Dr. D. Virendra Hegde Patabhisheka Award 2009 by STMES. He has been awarded as Young Teacher Award 2013 by AISRI Karnataka branch, Pratibha Puraskar in 2021 for awarding PhD by Sri Guru Parashakti, Parakada and Sri Parashakti Kshetra Madhyar, Adhyapak Bhushan Award in 2023 by Sri V. Pulikeshi Rural Ayurvedic Medical College Hospital and Research Center, Badami. And Sir will be taking the topic Sira, Dhamani and Srotas. We welcome you, Sir, to the session. Handing over the session to you, Sir.
Thank you. So I think my voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. So today we will see about Sira, Dhamani, Srotas, which is a topic in the paper 2. So where Sira carries about 4 marks, Dhamani carries about 2 marks, and Srotas, which is carrying about 7 marks as per your syllabus. So in this topic, we may expect some 5 marks question as well as the MCQ type of questions. We may expect a 5 marks question or 2 marks, that is MCQ type of questions. So we'll discuss about these Sira, Dhamani, Srotas. Later we'll discuss about any questions if you have. The first we'll see about Sira. So the word Sira having different definitions. So first one is the Saranath Sira as per Charaka Sutra 30 by 12. So the Sira is the ones in which something is flowing, Saranath. Similarly, in Chakrapani commentary on the same reference, if you see, it is Saranath Deshantara Gamanath. So Sira is the one in which something is flowing from one Desha to other Desha. So Desha here refers to, it may be Bhumi Desha or the Deha Desha. In this context, it is highlighting Deha Desha, where it is something is moving from one part of our Deha to the another part of our Deha. Similarly, if you go through the same reference, there is a Patantara in some of the books, Saranath Avayavantara Gamanat iti Patantara. So the Sira is the one in which something is moving from one Avayava or one organ to the another Avayava. So now we will see what is that something is flowing from one place to another place. That is mentioned in Gangadhar commentary on Charaka Sutra 30 by 12, where he says, Saranad Rasadinam Gamana Sira Ityuchate. So it is actually the rasadis are moving from one place to another place. So we'll discuss the remaining further portion descriptions of Sira. So first we'll see the Sira Utpatti. So it is mentioned in Sushruta Shareera 4 by 29 and 30th sloka that Medasah Snehamadaya Sira Snayutvam Apniyat Siranam tu Mrudupakaha Snayunam cha Tatakara. So by the Sneha Bhaga or the Sara Bhaga of Medas, both Sira and Snayu will produce. And when this Sneha or the Sara Bhaga of the Meda undergo Mrudupaka, we will see the production of Sira. Whereas when the same Sneha of the Medas undergo Karapaka, then the Snayu will be produced. Next, we will see this Moola of Sira as well as how these Siras are arranged in our body. So in Sushruta Shareera 7 by 3rd sloka he mentioned Tasam Nabi Moolam. So the Moola of this Sira is Nabi, and he says there are Sapta Sira Shatani Bhavanti. They are 700 in number, and Tatasya Prasaranti Urdhvam Adaha Tiryagga. So the 700 Siras which are connected with the Nabi, they are moving Urthvaga Adaha Tiryagga. Some of them are moving upward, some of them are moving downward, some of them are moving in a Tiryagga direction. So then in the middle of this sloka it is mentioned how these siras are arranged in our body, or so what is their role in our body. He says Yabiridam Shareera Arama Iva Jalaharinimi. So here Yabihi refers to Sirabihi. So these siras are nourishing our deha just like Jalaharinis nourishes the Arama. Arama here refers to different trees. Nana Vriksha Samudaya is called as Arama. How the trees are nourished by the Jalaharinis or the water channels. Similarly, Kedara Iva Kulyabihi. How the Kedar here paddy fields, Kulya is the water channels which is nourishing it. How the Kulya or the water channels nourishes the paddy field, in the same way, these siras which are connected with the Nabi are does the Upasnehana Anugrahana. Upasnehana means nourishment, Anugrahana means maintenance. They help for the nourishment as well as maintenance of our deha. So by maintaining or nourishing our deha, so these siras are responsible for various types of activity in our body. That is akunchana prasanadibihi visheshai. So by nourishing and maintaining the Shareera, these siras are responsible for proper functioning of Shareera. And further, you can see, so they have mentioned the arrangement of these siras, just like Drumapatra Sevani, how the ribs, veins, and the venules of the leaf are arranged in a leaf. In the same way, the siras which are connected with the Nabi spreaded all over the body. So the Moola of Sira is Nabi, and these siras which are connected with the Nabi are spreaded upward, downward, sideward, just like Drumapatra Sevani. Then similar reference you will get even in Sushruta Shareera 7 by 5, where he says Nabi is considered as the Moola of Sira, and it is actually the place of prana. So Nabi is considered as the Moola of Sira, as well as it is the Sthana of prana. And these siras which are connected with the Nabi are arranged just like Chakra Nabi Iva Araka. How the spokes of the wheel are arranged around the center of the wheel, in the same way, the siras are connected around the Nabi. So this is another simile regarding the arrangement of the Sira. And in this Sushruta Shareera 7 by 23, in the same chapter, there is one more reference regarding the arrangement of Sira is mentioned. So just like Padmini Kandad Visadinam Yata Jalam. So how the stalks of the lotus are connected with the rhizome. Rhizome is actually the portion which is sunken in the mud. So from the rhizome portion, the stalks are attached. To the rhizome, the stalks are connected. So how the stalks are connected to the rhizome, in the same way, these siras are connected with the Nabi. So they are spreaded from the Nabi. So that is the another reference regarding the arrangement of siras. If you go through the reference of Ashtangudaya Shareera, 3rd chapter, 18th and 19th sloka, where he says, Hridaya is considered as the Moola of Sira. So in the initial 3 slides, we understood it is Nabi is the Moola of Sira, whereas as per Ashtanga Hridaya Shareera, third chapter, it is the Hridaya is the Sira, and to this Hridaya there are 10 Moola siras are connected. So total number of Sira according to the Moola siras are 10, and Sarvam Sarvato Apuhu. So these Moola siras which are connected with the Hridaya spread it all over the body, and they carry both rasa as well as ojas. Rasatmakam Vohanti Ojaha. They carry rasa as well as oja all over the body. And further he says, these Dasha Moola siras which are connected with the Hridaya are having Stula Moola. Near the Hridaya Pradesha, they are larger in size, Stula. Susukshma Agraha, as they move towards the periphery, they become Sukshma, minute. So near the Moola or near the root or near the Hridaya Sthana, they are larger in size. As they move towards the periphery, they becomes minute, and they are arranged just like Patra Rekha Pratanavat, just like the veins, venules of the leaf, how they are arranged, how they give branches. In the same way, these 10 Moolasiras connected with the Hridaya gives branches, and finally they becomes Saptashatanyasa Bhavantitu. They becomes 700. At the Moolasthana, they are 10. Gradually, after giving branches, they becomes 700. So, as per the different references, there are two opinions regarding the Moola of Sira. One is Nabi, another one is Hridaya. So, this Nabi, which is considered as the Moola of Sira, may be understood in the embryological life, and in the living, that is in the adult life, we may understand Hridaya as the Moola of Sira. Next, we will see the Sira Sankhya and its Prakara. So, as per Sushrut Shareera 7 by 6, Tasa Moola Siraha Chatvar Imshat. So, there are 40 Moola Siras. These 40 Moola Siras are 10 Vatavaha, 10 Pittavaha, 10 Kafavaha, 10 Raktavaha Siras. And the same 10 Vatava Siras after reaching Vatasthana, Vatavahinam, Vatasthana Gatana, after reaching Vatasthana becomes 175, Pancha Saptatimshat. So this 10 Vatavasiras after reaching Vatasthana divides into 175. In the same way, Pittavasiras after reaching Pittasthana becomes 175. Kaphavasiras, which are 10 in number, after reaching Kapasthana, they divides and becomes 175. Similarly, Raktavasiras after reaching Yakrut and Pliha, they further divides and becomes 175. So totally, Moola Siras are 40, 10 Vatava, 10 Pittava, 10 Kafava, and 10 Raktava. And these 10 Moola Siras further gives 175 branches. So totally they becomes 700. So total number of Sira is 700, and total number of Moola Siras are 40. And if you see their location where these siras are present, so as I told, Vatava siras after giving branches they become 175. So we will see which are those 175 where they are located. So out of 175 Vatava siras, 25 siras are present in each shaka. So totally 4 shaka, that means 25 into 4 they becomes 100, and remaining 34 are present in the coast or the Madhya Shareera. Among them, 8 are present in Buddha, Medra, Shroni Pradesha, 4 in the Parshva, that is in the sides, 6 in the Prushta or the back, 6 in the Udara Pradesha, that is in the abdominal region, and 10 in the Vaksha, thorax region. And the remaining 41 siras are present in the Jatrurdva, so head and neck region, where 14 are present in the Griva or the neck region, 4 siras present in the Karna, 9 in the Jivha, 6 in the Nasika or the Nasa, 8 in the Netra. So totally 100 plus 34 plus 41, they becomes 175. In the same way, we should understand Pittavasira, Kaphavasira, Raktavasiras also. The same numbers are mentioned for Pitta, Kapha and Raktavasira, but there are slight difference. So instead of 4 siras in the Karna, the Pittavaha, Kapava, Raktava siras present in Karna is 2 each. Instead of 4, only 2 Pittava siras present in the Karna, 2 Kapava siras, 2 Raktava siras present in the Karna. Similarly, instead of 8 siras, there are 10 Pittava siras, 10 Kapava siras, and 10 Raktava siras present in the Netra. The remaining all, it is same for Vatavasira, Pittavasira, Kapavasira, and Raktavasira. Next, we will see the functions of this Vatavasira Karya. That is Kriyanam Apratigatam Amoham Buddhi Karmanam Karoti Anyan Gunashapi Swahasira Pavanashara. So the Vata, by moving its own Sira, that is Swaha Sira Pavanasharam, by moving in its own Sira, this Vatava Sira is responsible for Kriyanam Apratigatam. So proper functioning of all types of Kriya. It may be Sharirika Kriya or it may be Vachika Kriya. So it is responsible for all types of Kriya, proper functioning of all types of Kriya. Similarly, Amoham Buddhi Karmanam. So it is responsible for proper functioning of Buddhi. Here, Buddhi Karma here refers to the Jnana Prapti. In Jnana Prapti with the help of Indriyartha Sannikarsha. So this Vatava Sira is responsible for the Jnana Prapti as well as it is responsible for all types of activity without any disturbance. Similarly, this Vatava Sira is also responsible for Karoti Anyan Gunashapi, all other Vata functions. Coming to the Pittava Sira Karya, so Brajishnutam Annaruchim Agnidiptim Arogatam. So this Pittava Sira is responsible for Brajishnuta, that is a color or the complexions or the brightness of your skin. Then Annaruchi, taste perception, Agni Deepti, proper functioning of the Agni, as well as Arogatam, maintenance of health. Similarly, other than controlling all these activities, this Pittavasira is also responsible for Anyan Guna Napi. So all other functions of Pitta. Next, it is the Kaphavasira Karya. So the Kaphavasira is responsible for Sneham Angeshu, maintenance of Snigdata in the Anga, Shareera parts. Similarly, Sandinam Sthiryam, stability to this Sandhi. Similarly, Balam Udiranatam, it increases the Bala. As you know, Prakritastu Balam Sleshma. So Kapha is considered as Bala in the Prakrita Avastha. Similarly, this Kaphavasira is also responsible for all other types of Kapha, Kapha functions. Next, it is the Raktabhasira Karya. So as per Sushruta Sharira 7/14, it is Dhatunam Puranam. So here, by the word Dhatunam Puranam, you should understand it is the nourishment of the Dhatus. Similarly, this Raktavasira is responsible for Varna, color, Sparsha Jnana. So proper sensation, Sparsha Jnana. Other than Sparsha Jnana, Varna and nourishment of the Dhatu, this Raktavasira is also responsible for all other activities of Rakta. So even though we say it is Vatavasira, Pittavasira, Kaphavasira or the Raktavasira, so it doesn't mean that they carry only Vata, Pitta, Kapha or the Rakta. So because in Sushruta Sharira 7/16 he says, Nahi Vatam Siraha Kashit Na Pittam Kevalam Tata Shreshmanam Va Vahantyetaha Atah Sarva Vaha Smataha. There is no pure Vatava, Pittava, Kapava, Raktava Siras. So each and every Sira carry all of them together. So depending on the predominant entity, so if Vata is predominant, then we call it as Vatavasira. If Pitta is predominant, then we call it as Pittavasira. If Rakta is predominant, then we call it as Raktavasira. So each and every Sira carry Vata, Pitta, Kapha as well as Rakta, but depending on the predominance, it is named. So then there is a reference regarding Sira Lakshana. The qualities of Sira is mentioned. As per Sushruta Sharira 7/18th reference, it is Tatra Runa Vatavaha Puryante Vayuna Siraha Pitta Dushnasha Nilasha Shita Gauryaha Stiraha Kafat Asrugvahastu Rohinya Sira Na Atyushna Shitalaha. So Sira is having Vatava Sira is having Arunavarana. Arunavarana is actually the orange, yellow, reddish mixture, just like sunrise time, how the color you observe, the same color is actually the color of the Vatavasira. Similarly, Vatavaha Puryanti Vayunasira, it is filled with Vayu, or we may observe some movements because of the presence of Vayu inside the Vatavasira. Next, Pitta Ushnasha Nilasha. So Pittavasira is actually Ushna in touch, as well as it is having the color Neelavarna. And Kaphavasira is Stira, stable, and it is Shita to touch, and it is Gauryaha, Gauravarna or the white in color. And Asragvahastu Rohinyaha Sira Na Atyushna Shitala. Raktavasira is Rohini Varna, it is having reddish color, and it is not too hot, not too cold. So that is regarding the quality of Sira. Next, it is the avedhya sira. As you know, there are totally 700 siras present in our body. Among them, 602 siras are vedhya sira, where we can do sira vedana karma. Sira vedana karma is actually a treatment modality to treat the various diseases, where we are going to puncture the sira to remove the vitiated rakta, so that the disease can be managed. So such 602 siras are present. Remaining 98 siras are considered as avedhya, where we should not do any sira vedana, or puncturing should not be done. If at all, if we puncture such 98 avedhya siras, then it may end up in vaikalyam maranam cha api. So it may end up in either vikalata or marana. The reason behind vikalata and marana in the case of puncturing in the avedhya sira is because majority of these avedhya siras are located in the marmasthana. Especially they are located in sadhyo pranahara, kalantara pranahara, or vaikalyakara type of marma. So because of injury to these sadhya pranahara or kalantara pranahara or vaikalyakara type of marma, as these siras are located in that region, so either there may be a marana or vikalata can be observed. So we'll see the locations of those 98 avedhya siras. So among the 98 avedhya siras, 16 are present in the shaka. That is, in each shaka or in each limb, there are 4 avedhya siras. Then in the coast or the Madhya Shareera, there are 32 avedhya sira, and in Jatrudva, there are 50 avedhya siras. So those avedhya siras present in the each shaka, one is located in the Jaladhara. Jaladhara is the one avedhya sira which is mainly present in relation to Kurcha Shira Marma. And there are 2 avedhya siras present in the Uru Marma Pradesha, and 1 avedhya sira is present in the Lohitaksha Marmasthana. So next, in the Madhya Shareera, out of 32, 8 avedhya siras present in the Shroni Pradesha, that is the pelvic region. Among them, 4 are located in the Vitapa Marmasthana, 4 are located in the Katika Taruna Marmasthana, that is 2 on either side. Then there are 2 avedhya sira present in the sides of the trunk region, that is Parshva Pradesha. So those are actually located mainly in the Parshva Sandhi Marma Pradesha. And in the Prushta, there are 4 avedhya siras are present. They are present in the Brihati Marmasthana. So 2 on either side. And in the Udara Pradesha, that is just above the Medra, on either side there are 2 avedhya siras are mentioned. But in that region, we will not see any such marma particularly. So deeper we observe Basti Marma in that region. So it may be nearer to the Basti Marmasthana. Then in Vaksha Pradesha, there are 14 avedhya siras. Among them, 2 are located in the Hridayastha Marma, 4, that is 2 on either side in Sthanamula Marmasthana, and 2 on either side in the Sthanarohita Marma, and 2 in the Apalapa, and 2 in the Apastamba Marma Pradesha. So then remaining 50 avedhya siras present in the Jatrudva. So among them, 16 are present in the Griva. Among them, 2 are located in Krikatika, 2 in Vidura, 8 in Matrika Marma, 2 in Neela, and 2 in Manya Marma Pradesha. And in Hanu Pradesha, there are 4 avedhya siras. They are located in Hanu Sandhi Pradesha. Then among the 4 avedhya siras present in the Juha, both the 4 are present in the under surface of the tongue, and 2 are Rasavahasira and 2 Vagvahasira. And in Nasa, there are 5 Avedhya Siras are present, 4 are Aupanasika, nearer to the Nasa, and 1 is present in the Talu, which is the part present between the oral cavity and the nose. And in Netra, especially in the Apanga, that is near the Apanga Marmasthana, 2 Avedhya Siras, 1 on either side are present. And in relation to Karna, 2 Shabdavaini Siras are mentioned. So these Shabdavaini Siras get damaged in case of Viduramarma, Vigata, where so Badhiryata may be observed. Then Lalata, that is in the forehead region. So there are 7 Avedhya Siras present. In that, 4 are present near the Keshanta. Keshanta means it is the hairlines. Then 2 are present in the Avarta Marma Sthana. 1 is present in the Stapani Marma Sthana. Then in the Shanka Pradesha, there are 2 Avedhya Siras, 1 on either side. And in the Murdni or in the Shiras, there are 8 Avedhya Siras are mentioned. So among them, two are located in Utshepa Marmasthana, five in the Semanta Marmasthana, and in one in Adipati. So by looking at these Avedhya Sira locations, you can easily understand all of them or majority of them are located in either Sadhya Pranara or Kalantara Pranara or Vaikalyakara type of Marmasthana only. Few may be in like Stapani and Utshepa, they are actually the Vishalyagna type of marma. So where injury either kill the person or they will cause vikalata of the deha. So by considering all this, one thing is you can say Sira is not only vein. It is very difficult to correlate Sira only to vein because if you look at the Vatava qualities of Vatava Sira, Pittava Sira, Kapava Sira, and Raktava Sira, it may not be purely a vein. So so anything which carry rasadis from one place to another place where Saranata is only seen, such things can be understood as Sira. Next, it is the Dhamani. So, Dhamani, the word definition, it is mentioned Manat Dhamanya. So, the one in which pulsation, Manata, pulsation is found, such thing is called as Dhamani. As per Chakrapani commentary on same reference, it is mentioned Manat Puranat Vahyena Rasadini Ityartha. So these Dhamanis are having Dmanata as well as they Vahyena Rasadini. So they carry Rasadis from one place to another place. So as per if you compare Sira and Dhamani, in Sira only Saranata is seen, Rasadi Saranata is seen, whereas in Dhamani, along with the Saranata, we observe even Dmanata. If something is moving from one place to another place, along with the Dmanata or the pulsation, then only we can consider it as Dhamani. And as per Dallana commentary on Sushruta Shareera 9 by 1, it is mentioned Manad Anila Puranad. So this Manat or the pulsation is because of the Anila Purana inside that structure. So next we'll see the Moola of these Dhamani and how these Dhamanis are arranged in our body. So it is mentioned in Sushruta Shareera 9 by 4. Tasam tu kalu nabi prabhavanam damaninam urdhvaga dasha dasha cha adogaminya chatasraha tiryagaha. There are 24 Dhamanis are connected with the Nabi. Among 24, 10 are Urthvaga, 10 are Adoga, they are moving downwards, and 4 are moving in a Tiryagga direction, in oblique direction. And in Ashtangridaya Sharirasthana, 3rd chapter, 39th and 40th sloka, if you see, Damanyo Nabi Sambandhaha Vimshati Chaturuttara. He says, Damanis are connected with the Nabi only, and they are 24 in number. Tabihi parivritta nabi chakra nabi iva arakai. These 24 dhamanis are arranged around the nabi just like spokes of the wheel, that is araka, are seen around the center of the wheel. Center of the wheel is chakra nabi, araka is actually spokes of the wheel. How the spokes of the wheel are arranged around the center of the wheel? In the same way, these 24 dhamanis are spreaded or connected around the nabi. So in that 10 are moving upward direction, 10 are moving downwards, and 4 in oblique direction. So as per Ashtanga Hridaya as well as Sushrutas reference, the Nabi is considered as the Moola. Whereas if you go through the reference of Charaka Sutra 30 by 8, so where it is mentioned, Hridaya is considered as the Moola of Dhamani. Tena Moolena. Tena means it is Hridayena. So it is actually near the Hridaya. Mahata, Mahamula, Matadasha. There are 10 Dhamanis are connected with the Hridaya, and near the Hridaya they are Mahata, larger in size. These 10 Dhamanis connected with the Hridaya are larger in size near the Moolasthana, and they carry Ojo Vaha Sharire Asmin. They carry Oja all over the body, and Vidamyante Samantha. They are spreaded properly all over the body. There are 10 Moola Dhamanis or 10 Dhamanis connected with the Hridaya, and they carry Oja all over the body. As they spread, they becomes multiple or they becomes many and spread it all over the body. So as there are two opinions regarding the Moola. One says it is Hridaya, another reference says it is Nabi. So this Nabi we may understand it is during the embryological life, and this Hridaya may be during the adult life. Then we will see the Swarupa or the Lakshana of these Dhamani. So it is mentioned in Sushruta Sharira 9 by 10, where it is mentioned, Yata Swabhavata Kani Mrunaleshu Biseshucha Dhamaninam Tata Kani Raso Ehi Upachiyate. So Swabhavata Kani Mrunaleshu Bisheshu. Kam means empty space. So normally we see some empty space within the Mrunala Bisa, that is stalks of the lotus. There is some cavity inside the lotus stalk. In the same way, we observe cavity within the Dhamanis also. Dhamanis also having a these are tubular channels just like Brunala Bisa or the lotus stalk. So within which only something is moving from one direction, one place to another place with mana. So now Panchabhotikata of Dhamani. There is one reference which states about Dhamani is made up of Panchamahabhuta. Similarly, this reference states about function of Dhamani also. It is mentioned in Sushruta Sharira 9 by 11, where it is mentioned Panchabhibhutastvata Panchakrutvaha Panchendriyam Panchasu Bhavayanti Panchendriya Panchasu Bhavayitva Panchatvamayanti Vinashakal. Panchabhibhuta Stvata Panchakrutva. So this Daman is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas by the Panchakrutva or the proper union of Pancha Mahabhutas. And this Pancha Mahabhautika Damani is responsible for Panchendriyam Panchasubhavayanti, responsible for Sannikarsha of Indriya with the Indriyarthas. It is responsible for Jnana Prapti. It connects Indriya with the Indriyartha so that Jnana Prapti can occur. Next he says Panchendriyam Panchasu Bhavaitva Panchatva Vinashakale. During the Vinashakala, so these Panchabhautika Dhamani will divide into Panchatvam. So it will break down into Panchamahabhutas. So whenever this Dhamani functioning properly, it is responsible for the Indriyartha Sannikarsha, thereby Jnana Prapti will occur. And when during the Vinashakala or during the death, so this Dhamani will break down into Mahabhutas or Pancha Bhutas. So then Dhamani Sankhya and Prakara, as per Sushruta Sharira 9 by 4, there are 24 Moola Dhamanis are measured, present. Among them 10 are moving upward, 10 are moving downwards, and 4 are in Tiryagga direction. All of them are connected with Nabi. And we will see which are those Urthvaga Dhamani. So it is mentioned in Sushruta Sharira 9 by 5. So as per this reference, so the Urthvaga Dhamani which are 10 in number, they are responsible for Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha Prashwasa Uchvasa Jrumbita Kshut Hasita Katita Ruditadin Visheshan Abhivantya Shareeram Dharayanti. They are responsible for maintaining the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha as well as Prashwasa. Prashwasa is Anta Pravishatvayu, Uchvasa is expiration, inspiration and expiration. Similarly, Jrumba, yawning, Kshavatu, Kshuddh here refers to Kshavatu, that is sneezing, Hasita, smiling, Katita, talking, Rudita, crying. So this Urthvaga Dhamani is responsible for all types of activity, thereby they are maintaining the Shareera. Which part of the Shareera is maintained by Urthvaga Dhamani? That is mentioned in the last line. Nabehi Urdhvam. It nourishes the parts above the Nabi like Udara, Parshva, Prushta, Ura, Skanda, Griva, Bahu, etc. So all the parts above the Nabi are nourished by this Urthvaga Dhamani. So as I told, there are 10 Urthvaga Dhamani. So these 10 Urthvaga Dhamani, after moving upward from the Nabis, they reaches the Hridaya Sthana, and at the Hridaya Sthana they will each will divide into 3. So totally 10 will becomes 30. So out of those 30 Urthvaga Dhamani, 2 are Vatavaha Dhamani, 2 Pittavaha Dhamani, 2 Kapavaha Dhamani, 2 Shonitavaha Dhamani, and 2 Rasavaha Dhamani. Then 2 are responsible for Shabda Grahana, 2 are responsible for Rupa Grahana, 2 are responsible for Rasa Grahana, taste perception, 2 for the Gandha, smell perception, and 2 are responsible for Bhashate. Bhashate means speaking, and 2 Dhamanis are responsible for Gosha, to making some sounds. and two Dhamanis are responsible for Swapati. Swapati means sleeping, and two Dhamanis are responsible for Pratibodhana. Pratibodhana means awakening, and two Dhamanis are responsible for Ashruvahini, that is for crying, and two Dhamanis present in the sthana in case of male carry stanya, whereas the same two Dhamanis present in the sthana in case of male they carry Shukra. So this is the reason why sthana is considered as Moola of Shukrava Srotas. Shukrava Srotas, sthana is considered as Moola of Shukrava Srotas as per Sushruta. So because the Dhamani which is present in the sthana is actually carrying Shukra. So these are the Urthvaga Dhamani. Next is Adoga Dhamani. So there are 30 Adoga Dhamanis are present, 10 Adoga Dhamanis are present. These 10 Adoga Dhamanis are also divided into 30. So the Adoga Dhamani which are actually responsible for Vata, Mutra, Purisha, Shukra, Arthavadin, Adovahanti. It carry downward movement of or responsible for evacuation of Vata, Apanavata, Mutra, Purisha, Shukra, Artava, Adi. Adi refers to Garbha. Even for the delivery also this Adoga Dhamani is responsible. And these Adoga Dhamanis are nourishes the parts of the body below the Adonabe, like Pakwashaya, Kati, Mutra, Purisha, Uda, Basti, etc. Portions which are present below the Nabi are nourished by the Adoga Dhamani. And such Adoga Dhamani which arises from the Nabi Pradesha after reaching the Pittashaya. Pittashaya is actually the place between Amashaya and Pakwashaya. After reaching Amapakvashaya Madhyaga or the Pittashaya Pradesha, so they are responsible for the division of Ahara into Sara and Kitta. So this Adogadamani, so in the region of Pittashaya or the Amapakvashaya Madhya, responsible for the division of the Ahara into Sara and Kitta. And in the same region, these Adogadamani is dividing into three each. Totally they becomes 30, that is Amapakvashayantare Tridajayante. So they will divide it into three each. So totally 10 into 3, 30. So among the 30 Adoga Damani, so two are Vatavaha, two are Pittavaha, two Kafavaha, two Shonitavaha, and two Rasavaha. And two Damanis are present in the Antra, that is intestinal region, where they are responsible for Anna Vahana, and two Damanis are present there, Toyavaha Damanis. They carry Toya. So this Toyavaha Damani is actually the Damani which is connected with the Basti and Pakwasha, which is carrying Malarupi Drava from the Pakwasha to the Basti. Once this toya or the drava which carried from Pakwashaya to Basti, so once it reaches the Basti, then it becomes Mutra. Till then it is called as Dravarupi Mala only. So this toya Damani is carrying that Dravarupi Mala from the Pakwashaya to Basti. And there are two Mutra Damanis which are present in the Basti Pradesha, which are responsible for the Mutra Vahana. And there are two there are two Shukravaha, that is Shukra Pradurbhava Damanis are present, which are responsible for the production of Shukra, and two Damanis are responsible for Shukra Visarga, that is Bahirgamana of the Shukra. In case of females, instead of Shukra Pradurbhava and Shukra Visargaya, there are Artava Pradurbhava Damanis 2 and Artava Visargaya Damanis are 2. And other than these, there are two Dhamanis present in relation to Stulantra. So they are responsible for the Bahirgamana of Varchas or the Purisha. And remaining 8, so out of 30, the remaining 8 Dhamanis are carrying Sweda from this Pakwashaya Pradesh, that's Ama Pakwashaya Madhya Pradesha, to the Tiryagga Damanis. They carry these Sweda from which is produced after the Ahara Paka into the Tiryagga Damanis, so that this Tiryagga Damani can expel these Sweda from the Shareera. So this is regarding Adoga Damani. Next it is the Tiryagga Damani. So as per Sushruta Shareera 9 by 9, there are 4 Tiryagata Damanis are mentioned. These Tiryagata Damanis, which are 4 in number at the region of Nadi, they will divide multiple times, they becomes innumerable. So Ekaika Shatada Sahasrada. Each Dhamani will further divides hundreds and thousand. So they becomes Asankya. They becomes innumerable. And the terminal part of these Tiryagata Dhamanis are connected with the Roma Kupas, hair follicles. One end is connected with the Nabi, another end of this Tiryagata Dhamani is connected with the Roma Kupa. And with the help of this Tiryagata Dhamani, Swedam Abhivanti Rasamcha Abhitarpayanti Antarbahisha. So the Sweda which is produced after the Ahara Paka will be carried to the Twak for the Bahirgamana. Similarly, through the same Tiryagata Dhamani, Rasa will be carried to the peripheral part for the nourishment. And through the same Tiryagata Dhamani, whatever the medicine which we apply over the Twak, Abhyanga, Parisheka, Vaga, Lepan, etc., whatever we do over the Twak, the Sarabaga or the essence of that medicine will be absorbed through the Tiryagata Dhamani only. So whatever the medicine which we apply over the Twak will be absorbed through this Tiryagata Dhamani into the Shareera. And this Tiryagata Dhamani is also responsible for both Sukha and Asukha type of Sparsha. That is good and favorable and unfavorable type of Sparsha. So this is regarding the Dhamani. So there are 24 Dhamanis which are connected either with the Hridaya or with the Nabi, and they are spreaded around the Nabi just like Drumapatra Sevan, that is Patra Rekha, or just like the Chakra Nabi Varaka, and 10 are moving upward, 10 are moving downwards, and 4 in Tiryagata direction. And each one is having different functions. So this is regarding the Dhamani. So the last point, it is the Srotas. So first we will see the definition of the Srotas. So this is a reference regarding the definition of Dhamani, Sira and Srotas. All are mentioned together. So as we discussed the Sira as well as Dhamani already, so in the middle there is one reference, Sravanat Srotamsi. So Srotas is the one through which something oozes out. Sravanata will be seen. If Gmanata pulsation, if it is seen, then we call it as Dhamani. If Sravanata oozing or exchange is seen, then we call it as Srotas. If only flow, Saranata is seen in something, then we call it as Sira. So as we told, it is the Sravanata. Something is expelled out or oozes out from the siras. Then what is that something is oozing out or expelled out or coming out? It is Sravanaditi Rasadereva Poshyasya Sravanat. It is Rasadis are oozing out or coming out from the Srotas. So it is not only the Sravanata, even these Srotas are carrying these Rasadis also. That is mentioned in Gangadhara commentary, where it is mentioned Sravanad Rasadi Sravapatatvat Srotamsi Uchyate. So Sravanad Rasadihi. So the Rasadis are flowing out of these Srotas. Similarly, Patatvad, they are acting as a passage for the Rasadis. So Srotas is the one in which Rasadis are flowing as well as Rasadis are coming out or oozing out for the nourishment. So by looking at these references, we can say if only Saranata is present, if only flow is present, then we may consider it as Sira. Along with the Saranata, if Manata is present, then we may consider it as Dhamani. And along with the Saranata or the flow, if Sravanata is seen, then such structure is called as Srotas. So Saranata or the flow is common in all the three, but along with the Saranata, if Udmanata is present, then we call it as Dhamani. Along with the Saranata, if Sravanata is there, then we can consider it as Srotas. Then another reference, it is Dalana commentary on Sushruta Shareera 9/3, where he says, Prana Anna Vari Rasa Shonita Mamsa Medo Vahitvam Srotasam. So these Srotas are actually carrying Prana Anna Vari means Jala, Rasa Shonita Mamsa Meda, etc. from one place to another place. Another reference, it is available in Sushruta Shareera 9/12, where he says, Moolat Kadantaram Dehe Prasrutam tu Abhivahiyat Srotas Taditi Vidneyam Sira Damani Varjitam. So Moolat Kadantaram. So this Srotas starts from some empty spaces. From that empty space, it will be Abhivahiyat, Prasutam Abhivahiyat. It spreads all over the body. So these Srotas are starting from some empty space. From there, they spread all over the body. And they are Sira Dhamani Varjitam, different from Sira and Dhamani. Because I told in Sira only Saranata is seen, in Dhamani only Manata is seen, but in Srotas even Sravanata is seen. That is how they are different from one another. And in Charaka Vimana 5 by 3, it is mentioned Srotamsi Kalu Parinama Apadyamananam Dhatunam Abhivahini Bhavanti Ayanartyanam. Srotas is actually the channel in which Parinama Apadyamana Dhatus, that is Dhatus which are undergoing transformation, that is the Poshaka dhatus, are moving from one place to another place. This Srotas acts as a passage for the Parinama Apadyamana dhatu, or the dhatus which are undergoing transformation, or it is actually the Poshaka dhatu or the Margaga dhatu is actually moving from one place to another place for the nourishment. Then Swarupa of the Srotas, as per Charaka Vimana 5 by 25, it is mentioned Swadhatu Samavarnani Vrittastulani Anunicha Srotamsi Dirganyakritya Pratana Sadrishyani cha. So Swadhatu Samavarnani. So the Swarup color of the Srotas is similar to the Dhatu which is moving. If it is Raktava Srotas, then the color of these Raktava Srotas will be Raktavarna. So the Dhatu which is flowing inside, the same color is seen in the Srotas. Then Vritta, it is tubular. This Srotas is Vrittakara, tubular in appearance. Stulani Anunicha. So this can be understood in two ways. That is, near the Moolasthana, they are stula, larger in size, and as they move towards the periphery, they becomes minute. So another way is, some of these Srotas are stula, larger in size, some of them are they are minute. So those stula Srotas only, it is considered as Antarmukha Srotas. Then Dirganyakritya Pratana Sadrishyani cha. These Srotas are elongated one. They are not a small structure, they are elongated structures and spreaded. Pratana Sadrishyani, spreaded all over the body. Having the color similar to the Dhatu which is moving inside. They are tubular in structure, Dirga, elongated one. Some of them are Stula, some of them are Anu, or near the Moola they are large. As they move towards the periphery, they becomes Anu, and they are spreaded all over the body. Then, so normally, if you go through many of the textbooks or in many of the context, it is mentioned that these Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are actually synonyms. So that's why it is mentioned that synonyms of the Srotas in many of the books or many of the context. Actually, Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are not synonyms, because as we already discussed, they are having different functions. They are having different structures, different lakshanas, but still it is considered as similar, considered as synonyms. It is actually not in the true sense, because if you go through this reference, he says Srotamsi Sira Damanya Rasayanya Rasavainya Nadi Pantana Marga Shareera Chidra Samvrutta Samvrutta Sthana Ashaya Niketa, all are Shareera Dhatu Avakashas. Actually, these terms, whatever he mentioned, like Srota, Sira, Dhamani, Pantana, etc., these are Shareera Dhatu Avakashas, the place where Shareera Dhatu resides. In that way only we may consider them as synonyms, because all these entities are actually the place where Shareera Dhatu resides. Only on based on that aspect we may consider them as synonym. Otherwise, if you think based on their lakshana or based on their function and all, they are completely different structures. And such terms, whatever they mentioned, Sotam, Sisira, etc., they are the region where Shareera Dhatus are residing. They are Lakshya, Alakshya. Some of them are Lakshya, visible. Some of them are Alakshya, invisible. So these are the either visible or invisible places of Shareera Dhatu. So that is actually the meaning of this sloka. So they are not the synonyms of Sira, Dhamani, etc., or the Srotas. These are actually the various terminologies telling the locations of Shareera Dhatu in our body, either visible or invisible. Then, so next we will see there is a reference saying Shareera is full of Srotas. So it is mentioned in Charaka Vimana 5 by 3 where it is mentioned Yavanta Purushe Murtimanto Bhava Vishesha Tavanta Evasmin Srotasam Prakara Vishesha. As much number of Murti Manta Bhavas present in our body, that much number of Srotas is present. Murti Manta Bhava means the entity which is having the structure or the shape. If we consider a cell as a entity which is having the shape, so you know there are innumerable number of cells. In the same way, Srotas is also innumerable. So any uh, as much number of Murtimanta Bhavas or the factors which are having the shape, that much number of Srotas is present according to this reference. And there are few references or apichayake. Few scholars consider Sharira is full of Srotas. Srotasam eva samudayam purusham Sharira is only made up of Srotas. Why they consider this Sharira is full of Srotas? Because this Srotas is Sarvagatatvat, present everywhere. Sarva Saratvat, it is spreaded everywhere. And Dosha Prakopa Prashamanana, it is the cause for Dosha Prakopa as well as Prashamana, that is for the vitiation of Dosha as well as normalcy of doshas. But this opinion of some other scholar is rejected by the Chakrapani. He says it is not true. We cannot consider Sharira is only made up of Srotas because Yasya hi Srotamsi Yacha Vahanti. The Srotas, what it carries. Yacha Vahanti means what it carries. It carries dhatus. These dhatus are different from Srotas. Similarly, Yacha Vahanti, where it carries these dhatus, they carry these dhatu to nourish the another dhatu. So that means those are also different from the Srotas. Or Yatracha Avastitani, where these Srotas are residing, these Srotas are residing in between different dhatus. They are also different from the Srotas. So whatever the thing which is flowing inside the Srotas or where these entities are flowing or where these Srotas are located, all of them are different from the Srotas. That's why we cannot blindly say Sharira is only made up of Srotas. Sharira is made up of some other structures also. Then what is the function or the importance of Srotas? In Charaka Vimanasthana 5 by 3, it is mentioned Srotas is the one which is carrying Parinama Apadyamana Dhatu from one place to another place. It is the passage through which the dhatus which are undergoing transformation are moving from one place to another place. And there is one more reference from Charaka Vimana 5 by 7 where he says, Srotas is the one which carry pranadis. Similarly, through the Srotas, Tridoshas, Vata Pitta Shleshmana Puna Sarva Sharira Charana. Tridoshas will move from all over the body through all the Srotas. Sarvani Srotamsi Ayana Bhutani. All the Srotas acts as a passage for Tridoshas. But further he says, Tadvad Atindriyanam Puna Sattvadinam Kevalam Chetana was Shariram Ayana Bhutam Adhishtana Bhutam Cha. Even though Tridoshas will move all over the body through all the Srotas, but the Atindriya means the one which we cannot identify with the help of our sense organ, that is Sattva, Manas. Manas we cannot identify with the help of sense organs. Such Manas will move to the different parts of the body wherever there is a chetana or the sensation. So the mana will move all over the body wherever there is a sensation through the srotas, whereas tridoshas will move each and every part, whether it is having chetana or not having chetana. In those areas also, tridoshas will move. So that's why we can see all types of diseases which are produced because of the tridosha vikriti in kesha and naka. Naka and kesha are considered as the achetana dravyas. They doesn't have any sensation. So you can see various diseases related with the naka and kesha, but we will not see mana is reaching that. That's why whenever you are cutting hair or whenever you are cutting your nail, so we will not feel any pain because the manas is not reaching there. If mana is not reaching there, sensation may not be there. So that is the reason how we can understand So this mana and tridoshas move different parts of the body. Tridoshas will move all over the body through all the Srotas, but mana will reach different parts of the body wherever there is a Chetana through these Srotas only. And tadeta Srotasam Prakriti Bhutatvat na Vikarei Upasrujyate Shariram. When these Srotas are in normal condition, we can see the health, and when they are vitiated, we may observe the production of disease. And similar description is mentioned in Charaka Vimana 5/3, where he says, Sarvehi Bhava Purushe Nantarena Sotamsi Abhinirvartante Kshayam Va Api Abhigachanti. So all the entities present in our body, either they grow, abhinirvartante means grow, or kshayam, undergo destruction. Either they grow or undergo destruction with the involvement of Srotas only. Without Srotas, there will not be any growth or there will not be any destruction, because through these Srotas only the dhatus, rasadis are moving from one place to another place for the nourishment. And in Charaka Vimana 5/9, it is mentioned, Tesham Prakopat. If one Srotas is vitiated, then Sthana Stashaiva Margagascha Shareera Dhatava Prakopamapadyante. When there is a vitiation of one Srotas, this vitiation of Srotas will vitiate both the Margaga Dhatu, or the Dhatu which is moving inside the Srotas, as well as the Dhatu which is nourished by that Srotas. So both Margaga Dhatu is actually the one which is moving inside the Srotas. Sthanika Dhatu is actually the one which is nourished by these Srotas. So both the type of Dhatus will be vitiated. So similarly, these vitiated Dhatus will vitiate the Uttarottara Dhatu as well as Uttarottara uh, Srotas. So I will give one example. So if we take various Aitaharas, so then there will be vitiation of Annavasrotas, that is Ajirna will occur. And again, if you take further unwholesome diets, then vitiated Annavasrotas can vitiate even Purishavasrotas, because the same Anna will be expelled out through the Purishavasrotas. So indirectly, one Srotas is vitiating another Srotas. So this is how vitiation of one Srotas will vitiate the contents as well as the dhatus which are nourished by it, and later so it will vitiate another Srotas also. That is why he says Srotamsi Srotamsi. One Srotas will vitiate another Srotas, and one dhatu will vitiate another dhatu. So by the vitiation of one Srotas, we may expect vitiation of another Srotas if the condition is not managed properly. So the cause for this vitiation of the Srotas is three doshas, because it is the swabhava of the doshas to vitiate anything in our body. Next, we are going to see the Sroto Sankhya. So as per the reference of Charaka Vimana 5/3, so we understood that as much number of Murtimanta Bhavas, or the as much number of entities having the shape, that much number of Srotas is present. So by indirectly we can say there are innumerable Srotas. So another reference in Charaka Vimana 5/4, it is mentioned, so Kechid Aparisankhya. So few scholars consider Srotas are Aparisankhya, innumerable, and few consider it as Parisankhya. So few consider these Srotas as countable, and few consider these Srotas as innumerable. So one, we can say Srotas are innumerable because they are many in number. So but few consider it as Parisankhya, that is countable. If it is countable, then what is the number? So first we will see the Sankhya and Prakara according to Sushruta. Sushruta classified these Srotas into mainly two types, Bahirmukha Srotas and the Antarmukha Srotas. And these Bahirmukha Srotas are the external openings, Nava Dwaras, or the Shravana, Nayana, Vadana, Grana, Guda, Medra. These Bahirmukha are the external openings which we observe in human being. So that is considered as the Bahirmukha Srotas, as they are having connection to the external world. So it is considered as Bahirmukha Srotas. And in case of female, there are three additional Bahirmukha Srotas. Two are present in this Stana. One is the Adoga Raktava. Raktava is actually the vaginal opening. And he's other than Bahirmukha, there are Antarmukha Srotas is also mentioned by Sushruta. This Antarmukha Srotas is also called as Yogava Srotas because they carry yoga. Yoga means dravya. As they carry some dravya from one place to another place, this Antarmukha Srotas is also called as Yogavaha Srotas. And they are 22 in number or 11 pairs. They are Pranava, Annavaha, Udakava, Rasava, Raktava, Mamsava, Medova, Mudrava, Purishava, Shukrava, Artavaha. So these are the 11 pairs of Antarmukha Srotas. And if you see the Charakas reference, there we will not get Bahirmukha Srotas reference. Instead of such Bahirmukha Srotas are named as Chidra. And he considered there are 9 Chidras, Mahachidras are present in our body. In that 7 are present in the Shira Pradesha, that is Nasa, Nayana, uh, then Karna, so then even the oral cavity. These are the 7 openings of the Chidras present in the Shira Pradesha, and Dvecha Adha, Payu and Upastha, that is the urinary passage as well as the Guda Marga. These are considered as the Adoga Margas. That is considered as the 9 Mahachidras as per Charaka. Then he considers Stula Srotas. He says there are 13 Stula Srotas. He says Srotas are many in number. Among them, 13 are larger in size, Stula, and remaining are very smaller or minute. And those 13 Stula Srotas he considered as Pranavaha, Udakavaha, Annavaha, Rasavaha, Rudiravaha, Mamsavaha, Medavaha, Astivaha, Majjavaha, Shukravaha, Mutravaha, Purishavaha, and Swedavaha. These are the 13 Stula Srotas. So Sushruta considered 11 pairs or the 22 Antarmukha Srotas, whereas Charaka considered them as Stula Srotas, but he counted 13. These Astivaha, Majjavaha, as well as Vedava Srotas is not mentioned by Sushruta, whereas Sushruta added one more additional Srotas, that is Artava. Next, if you go through the reference of Vagbhata, he considered that Bahya Srotas as Drishya Srotas. The same thing, whatever we discussed according to Sushruta, same are considered as Bahya Srotas or Drishya Srotas because it can be visible from outside. But according to Ashtanga Shareera, 3rd chapter 41 and 42, so he mentioned Antasrotas. This Antasrotas is also called as Adrishya Srotas because they are not visible from outside. And the same Antasrotas or the Adrishya Srotas is also considered as Jivitayatana or the Pranayatana. It is the sthan of Prana. And he considered this Adrishya Srotas or the Antasrotas as 13. So this 13 Srotas are similar to Charaka's opinion. That is Vata Pranavaha, Udakavaha, Annavaha, then Sapta Dhatuvaha, Swedavaha, Mutravaha, and Purishavaha. So these are the 13 Antasrotas or the Adrishya Srotas or the Jivitayatana mentioned by Vagbhata. So this is the reference of Kashyapa. No need, I will not discuss regarding these things. Kashyapa's reference as well as Sharangada's reference. It is not required. So you can just remember the reference of Sushruta, Charaka, and Vagbhata. Next, we will discuss about the Srotas. Before discussing about the Srotas, one thing I wanted to tell. So whenever you are studying about the Srotas, we come across the word Moola. So this word Moola is actually not the site from where these Srotas starts. So this Moola is having different understanding because Chakrapani says Moola miti Prabhavasthana. Moola means it is the Prabhavasthana. Prabhavasthana means, so this Moola may be the site from where these Srotas starts, or this Moola may be the place where first signs and symptoms are observed when there is a Vikriti, or this Moola may be the site which is protecting that Srotas, or this Moola may be which is governing or controlling that Srotas. It may be the site where these Srotas originates, or it may be the site which is protecting or governing or supporting these Srotas, or it may be the place where first signs and symptoms may be observed. So these are the different understandings of Moola. And if you go through the Sushruta's reference, he uses the word Pranavahe Dve. Here the word Dve indicates Pranava Srotas are 2 in number. That's why I told 11 pairs of Srotas. So the word dve here refers to, it is the two pranava srotas, not the number of moolas. We should not consider pranava srotas is having only two moolas. No. So moola may be two or more than two also. But the word dve, which is mentioned in the reference of srotas in Sushruta Samhita, actually indicating each srotas is two in number. That's why 11 pairs is mentioned. Next, one more thing is, whenever you are studying about some applied aspects of these srotas, two types of words are discussed. One in Sushruta it is mentioned, Vidya Lakshana is mentioned, and in Charaka Samhita he has mentioned about Dushti Lakshana. This Vidya Lakshana means if the Moola, if the Sroto Moola get injured, what are the Lakshanas are seen? That means it is the Bahya Bigata. Because of any external injury, if the Sroto Moola is get injured, then what are the Lakshanas are seen? That is mentioned by Sushruta. That's why he explains Moola Vidya Lakshana or the Vidya Lakshana. But if you go through the Charaka's reference where he explains about Dushti Lakshana means because of the vitiation of the Srotas. It is not vitiation of only Sroto Moola. We have to understand it is the vitiation of the Srotas by Tridoshas. Then what are the Lakshanas are produced? That is called as Dushti Lakshanas. So Dushti Lakshana is mentioned by Charaka and Vidya Lakshana is mentioned by Sushruta. Because Sushruta mainly gives importance to surgical aspects. So that's why he highlighted external injury, signs and symptoms produced as a result of external injury. And Charaka explained about dosha bigata or the diseases produced because of vitiation. So I am going to discuss much about the Moola. I will discuss about the Moola and why these Moolas are considered. So I will not discuss about the Vidya Lakshana and Dushti Lakshana regarding each and every Srotas. I will discuss general Dushti Lakshana and Dushti Karanas of the Srotas in the end. Individual Sroto, Dushti and Sroto Vidya Lakshana I will not highlight because so I don't think it is required in first BMS. So general Lakshanas, general Dushti Lakshanas and Dushti Karanas I will discuss in the last. So first is the Pranava Srotas. So according to Charaka reference, the Pranava Sroto Moola is Rudaya and Mahasrotas. And according to Vagbhat also same, Rudaya and Mahasrotas is considered as the Moola of Pranava Srotas, whereas Sushruta consider Rudaya and Rasavahini Dhamani as the Moola. All of them consider Rudaya as the Moola. If you go through the reference of Rudaya, it is mentioned Rudaya is actually the span of Pranavaha Dhamani. Similarly, Rudaya is considered as the place responsible for Prana and Apana, controlling Prana and Apana. Here, Prana and Apana refers to breathing, respiration, Uchvasa and Nishvasa. As Rudaya is the part which is responsible for Prana and Apana, that is breathing, as well as Rudaya is actually considered as the Adhisthana of Pranava Dhamani. Rudaya may be considered as the Moola Pranava Srotas. And the Mahasrotas mentioned by Vagbhat and Charaka. So Mahasrotas, because if you go through the Dushti Karanas, so in the another reference you can see in this condition, this is actually the Dushti Karana. Kshayat Sandaranat Raukshat Vyayamat Kshuditasya. He says Sandarana, Vega Sandarana, as well as Ruksha Ahara Sevana. So, because of the Ruksha Ahara Sevana as well as the Vega Dharana, so there is a vitiation of Pranava Srotas. So, here the Karana is in Mahasrotas. As the Mahasrotas, Vikruti of the Mahasrotas is resulting in the Pranava Srotodushti. So that may be the reason why Mahasrotas is considered as the Moola, because Vikruti of the Prana Mahasrotas or impairment in the Mahasrotas will resulting in vitiation of the Pranava Srotas. That's why Mahasrotas may be considered as the Moola of Pranava Srotas. And this Rasavahini Dhamani is considered as Moola according to Sushruta because this Prana Rupi Ojas moves all over the body through Rasa only. And this Prana moves all over the body through Rasa for the maintenance of our body. That's why Pranava Srotas may be considered as the Moola of Rasava Dhamani may be considered as Moola of Pranava Srotas. And this reference, so we will get the Moola with the Lakshana in Sushruta Samhita as well as Dushti Karana and Dushti Lakshana. I am not going in detail regarding these things. So next is about the Udakava Srotas. So Udakava Srotas is actually Talu and Ploma are considered as Moola according to all the scholars. The Talu is because it is the place where first signs of Udakava Srotodushti will be identified, because dryness of the Talu is actually the Lakshana of Udakava Srotodushti. So because it is the place where first signs and symptoms are identified, that may be the reason why it is considered as Moola. And Kloma, because Kloma is considered as the Pipasa Sthana. It is the place which is going to maintain the udakamsha in our body. So this kloma is considered as the Hridayastha Pipasasthana. It may be the thirst receptor or the thirst center present in the brain. Or few scholars consider this kloma as the Vrukka Durdva Pipasasthana. It is the part present above the Vrukka, which is maintaining the udak or the water balance. So it may be the suprarenal gland. Few consider it is actually tilakam, so having the shape similar to the tilaka. So it may be the pancreas. So there are different opinions regarding the cloma. Few consider it as the thirst center present in the Rudaya. Rudaya means they consider it as the Shiro Rudaya, and they say it is a thirst center present in the brain. Few consider it as the suprarenal gland, which is present above the vrukka. Few consider it as the cloma, which is present in the Udara Pradesha, maybe the pancreas. All these structures are actually maintaining the water balance. So indirectly, we may say, even though it is indicating different avayavas or different organs, the organ which maintains the udaka or the water balance in our body can be understood as cloma. Anything which maintains water balance in our body can be understood as cloma. So as this cloma is maintaining the udaka in our body, it may be considered as moola. Then next is the annava srotas. So as per all the three opinions, amasha is considered as one of the moola, because amasya annasya adara amasha. It is the place where ama anna is residing. So as it is holding the ama anna for the digestion, so this amasha may be considered as the moola of annava srotas. And Annavahini Dhamani is mentioned in Sushu Samhita because it is responsible for Vahana of the Anna. And Vama Parshva is mentioned by Charaka and Vata. So this Vama Parshva may be the left lateral part of our body. So if you go through the Grahani chapter in Charaka Samhita, it is says Grahani means it is actually the Amapakvasha Madhya, or the portion which is present in between Amasha and Pakvasha. And that Grahani, the function of Grahani says Apakvam Dareti Annam Pakvam Sujati Parshvata. The Grahani or the Amapakvasha Madhyaga, or it is the place where Pachaka Pitta is located. This part is responsible for Apakvam Dareti. It holds the Anna, Apakwa Anna, till it get completely digested. After digestion, Pakvam Sujati Parshva. After digestion, that Pakwa Anna will be pushed towards the Parshva. He says that from the Grahani Pradesha or from the Amapakvasha Madhya Pradesha, the Ahara will be pushed towards the Parshva. Commenting on the Parshva, Chakrapani says Parshva means it is Vama Parshva, and it is the Grahani and the Guda are present in the Vama Parshva. In the context of Grahani, it is pushing the foot towards the Vama Parshva, maybe pushing foot towards the Guda Pradesha. We may consider in that way. But in the context of Annava Srotas, this Vama Parshva refers to the Grahani Pradesha, because that Grahani is also located in Vama Parshva Bhaga. So as Grahani is actually holding the Anna till the complete digestion, so it is controlling the digestion of the food. So this this is considered as Moola of Annava Srotas. Amashaya, Vama Parshva may be Grahani. So next it is the Rasavaha Srotas. So Rudaya is considered as the Moola of Rasavaha Srotas by all the scholars, as Rudaya is considered as the Rasasthana. From Rudaya Pradesha only Rasa moves all over the body. That's why it is considered as Moola. And Rasavahini Dhamani connected with the Rudaya, or the Dasha Dhamanis which are connected with the Rudaya only, carrying Rasa all over the body. That's why they are considered as Moola of Rasavaha Srotas. Next it is the Raktavaha Srotas. The Moola of Raktavaha Srotas is mentioned as Yakrut and Pliha by all the scholars. Additionally in Sushruta, Raktavahini Dhamani is mentioned. Yakrut and Pliha are considered as the Raktasthana, or they are considered as the place where rasa is converted to form rakta, or the utpatti of rakta is taking place in that region, or it may be considered as the mool, it is the rakta dara kala pradesha. So that is why they may be considered yakrit and pri as the mool of rakta vasotas, and rakta vahini damani because it is carrying the rakta. Then Mamsava Srotas. So Snayu is considered as the Moola. Snayu and Tvak are considered by all the scholars, and Raktavaha Damani is considered as Moola according to Sushruta. This Snayu may be considered as Moola of Mamsava Srotas because Snayu is the one which is actually going to bind the Mamsa with the Asti, or which is connecting one Mamsa with the Snayavo bandhanam prokta dehe mamsasti medasam. As Snayu is the one which is connecting or holding the mamsa, so that may be the reason why Snayu considered as mool of mamsa vasrotas. And twak because so the mamsadara layer of the twak, that is the deepest layer of the twak, is mamsadara layer of the twak. That it is called as mamsadara because it is doing does the dharan or protection of the mamsa. Beneath this mamsadara twak only, mamsadara kala is present, which we may understand as deep fascia. Within that mamsadara kala, mamsa is present. So as this twak is protecting the underlying or the deep rooted mamsa, so this may be considered as the moola of mamsava srotas. And raktava damani because within the mamsa, it is in the context of Mamsadharakal, it is mentioned that Sira Dhamani Srotasam Pratana Bhavanti. So Sira Dhamani Srotas are spread it inside the Mamsa and they are nourishing the Mamsa. So as the Dhamani which is present inside the Mamsa which nourishes the Mamsava Srotas, it may be considered as Mool of Mamsava Srotas. Next it is the Medavaha Srotas. Medavahanam Srotasam Vrukko Moolam Vapavahanam Cha. So Vrukka is considered as Moola according to all the three scholars. So Vrukka is considered as Moola maybe because it is actually one of the Medasthana. As if you see the Vrukka or the kidney, if you consider Vrukka as the kidney, so surrounding the kidney we observe abundant fat, pararenal pad of fat, perirenal pad of fat. So as Vrukka is considered as the place where Meda is present, so it may be considered as the Moola. Similarly, Kati. Kati is actually Shroni Pradesha. If you go through the Medakshaya Lakshana, Medasa Swapanam Katya, so there is a Kati Swapa or dryness in the Kati. So because Kati is considered as the Medasthana, so that is why it is considered as Moola. Then Vapavana. Vapavahanam Taila Vartika, or it is also Medasthana. Vapavana is also considered as Medasthana. All these three are considered as Medasthana, so that's why it may be considered as Medava Soto Moola. But in Sharangadhara, if you go through Sharangadhara's reference, where Vrukka is considered as actually the structure which is maintaining the Meda in our Shareera. So there is one reference in Sharangadhara Samhita where he says the function of Vrukka is maintaining the Meda in our body. So that may be another reason behind considering Vrukka as mool of Medava Srotas. Next, it is the Astivaha Srotas. This Astivaha Srotas is mentioned only in Charaka Samhita and Ashtanga, not in Sushruta Samhita. So where he says Astivahanam Srotasam Medo Moolam Jaganamcha. Same in Ashtanga Sangra, Jagan and Meda are considered as the Moola. Meda because Asti is produced from the Purva Dhatu. So Meda is the Purva Dhatu which is going to nourish the Asti. So it may be considered as Moola. And Jagan, it is difficult to give the justification why this is considered as Moola. It may be one reason we may give. Jagan is actually the middle part of our body as it supports or holds the entire Asti. So it may be considered as the Moola, or the total body weight will be carried to the Jagan or the hip region. From there, it will be carried to the limbs. So as it is mainly holding the complete body balance, it may be considered as the Moola. Then it is the Majjava Srotas, where Asti and Sandhi are considered as the Moola of Majjava Srotas by Charaka and Vagbhata. In case of Vagbhata, instead of Sandhi, he uses the word Parva. Parva is Sandhi only. So Asti is considered as Moola of Majjava Srotas because Asti is going to nourish the Majja because it is nourished by the Purva Dhatu. And Sandhi if you go through the Vidya Lakshanas of Majjava Srotas, there is a involvement of Sandhi. You can say Ruk Parvanam. There will be severe pain in the Sandhi Pradesha in case of Majjava Srotodushti. Similarly, there will be development of Arumshis in the Parva Pradesha. So Arumshi means is actually the boils or some growths which we are developing in the Sandhi Pradesha or the Parva Pradesha. So because of the involvement of Parva or the Sandhi Pradesha, in the case of Vikriti, it may be considered as the Moola of Astiva Srotas. Sorry, Majjava Srotas. Next, it is the Shukrava Srotas. The Shukrava Srotas is mentioned by all the three scholars, where Vrishana and Shef are considered as the Moola. Vrishana is considered by Moola according to Charaka and Sushruta, because Vrishana is actually the Shukrastan. It is the place where Shukra resides, and Shefa is considered as the Moola because Shefa is actually the passage for both Shukra and Mutra. It is a passage for both Shukra and Mutra, as it is responsible for the expulsion of the Shukra. It is considered as Moola. And in Sushru Samhita, Sthana is considered as Moola of Shukra Vasrotas because, as I discussed in the context of Dhamani, the two Dhamani present in the Sthana region carry Shukra in case of male. That may be the reason behind considering it as Moola of Shukra Vasrotas. And this Mushka, it is actually the Falakosha or the Andakosha. Same Vrishana is considered as the Mushka. Uh, Again, it is because of the Shukra Sthana, and Majja because it is the Purva Dhatu which is going to nourish the Shukra. Then it is the Mutrava Srotas. So Mutrava Srotas, Basti and Vangshana is considered as the Moola. Basti is considered by all the three scholars, and because it is actually the Mutra Utpatti Sthana, or the Mutra is actually residing in the Basti, or it is the Ashaya for the Mutra. So that's why it is called as Mutrava Sroto Moola. And Vangshan is considered by Chalaka and Vagbhata because in case of Mutra Vikaras, it may be Mutra Gata or the Mutra Kruchra, etc. type of diseases, patient will complain of severe pain in the groin region. Vangshan is actually the groin region or the inguinal region. As even according to modern science, if you go through, so in case of urinary tract conditions, it may be stones or something. So we may see a patient complaining of severe pain starting from loin to groin, radiating pain which starts in the loin region to the groin region. So that may be the reason behind considering Vangshan as the mool of Mutrava Srotas. And Medra is mentioned by Sushruta because, as I told, Medra or the Shefa is actually the passage for both Mutra as well as Shukra. It is considered as Moola. Then if you see the Purishava Srotas, so Pakvasha is considered by all of them. Similarly, Guda. The Stulantra is also indicating the Guda only. So Stula Guda or the Guda or the Stulantra. Pakvasha because it is Pakvasya Annasya Purushatam Praptasya Pakvasha. It is the place where Pakwa Anna is converted to form Purisha. So the place where Purisha is produced. So that's why this Pakvasha may be considered as Purisha Vahasroto Moola. And Guda, Guda is responsible for the Bahirgaman of Purisha. So there are two parts of Guda, Uttara Guda and Adara Guda. Yatra Purisham Avatishtate. The portion which holds the fecal matter is called as Uttara Guda. Yatra Purisham Nishkramati. Ena Purisham Nishkramati. The one which is responsible for the evacuation of the fecal matter is Adara Guda. So the Guda is actually responsible for holding and evacuating the fecal matter. So it may be considered as Moola Purishava Srotas. And next one is the Svedava Srotas. So according to Charaka Vimana 5 by 8, it is Meda and the Loma Pupa is mentioned as Moola. Same is mentioned by Vagbhat also. Meda considered as Moola of Svedava Srotas because Sveda is produced from the Meda only. And Loma Kupa because the Bahirgamana of the Sveda. In the context of Tiryagga Dhamani, I told. So the Tiryagga Dhamanis are carrying the Sveda to the Loma Kupa, and from Loma Kupa, Sveda Bahirgamana takes place. As Meda is the one which is going to produce the Sveda, and through the Loma Kupa, it is actually expelled out. So which is considered as Moola of Sveda Vasrotas. And the Arthava Srotas, which is mentioned by Vagbhata, not by the Charak or Vagbata. So this Garbhashaya and Arthavahini Dhamani are considered as the Moola. Garbhashaya because in relation to Garbhashaya, if you go through the context of Artava, so he says for a month the Artava starts accumulating in the Garbhashaya, and if there is no Garbhotpati or if there is no Shukra Shonta Samyoga in that month, then that Artava will be expelled out from the Yoni Marga. So till 1 month, so there will be accumulation of the Artava inside the Garbhashaya. It is mentioned in the context of Artava. So as it is actually the place where Artava get accumulated, then may be considered as the Garbhashaya. And Arthavahini Dhamani. The word Arthavahini Dhamani are of two. One is Arthava Pradurbhava Dhamani and Arthava Visargaya Dhamani. The Dhamani responsible for the production of Arthava, Dhamani responsible for the Visarga or the Bahirgamana of Arthava. Both you should understand by the word Arthava Vahini Dhamani. So that is why they are considered as the Moola of Arthava Srotas. So then, as I told, so I will discuss the Samanya Srotodushti Karana Lakshanas in the end, because I have not discussed individual one. So the Samanya Srotodushti Karana, it is mentioned in Charaka Vimana 5/23, where he says, Aharasya Viharasya Yasya Dosha Gunehi Sama Dhatu Vigunaschapi Srotasamsa Pradushaka. The Ahara Viharas which are having the quality similar to the dosha are going to cause dushti of the Srotas. For example, so if the person takes ruksha ahara sevana, then prana vayu will vitiate. That prana visheshan of prana vayu results in pranava srotodushti. So because ruksha is actually the quality of vayu. So this ruksha ahara sevana will vitiate the vayu, thereby it is causing pranava srotodushti. Like this, the ahara viharas having the quality similar to the dosha. Similarly, dhatu bhi vigunashapi. Here, viguna, by the word viguna, you should not understand it as opposite quality. It is actually the qualities which are going to vishesh the dhatu. So, for example, diva sopna is actually the which is vitiating meda dhatu. So, diva sopna is one of the cause for the medo vaha soto dushti. So, like this, any cause which is going to vitiate the dhatu, or any cause which is going to cause, which is having the quality similar to the dosha, are going to cause soto dushti. Depending on the type of sotas, different causes are mentioned. Then Samanya Sroto Dushti Lakshana. If you go through the individual Sroto Dushti Lakshanas, all those individual Sroto Dushti Lakshanas are grouped under 4 types only. Those 4 types of Sroto Dushti are Ati Pravriti, Sangha, Sira Granthi or Vimarga Gamana. Ati Pravriti means it is actually excessive Pravriti. For example, if you go through the Pranava Sroto Dushti, he says Ati Sushta. So there will be excessive breathing. Same mentioned Ati Sushta Purisha Pravriti in the context of Purisha Vasrotas. Similarly, Ati Mutrata is mentioned in the context of Mutra Vasrotas. That Ati Mutrata, Ati Sushtata or excessive Purisha Pravriti or excessive breathing, whatever they mentioned, they are actually the Ati Pravriti, excessive activity of that Srotas. Then Sangha is obstruction. So in the same Purishava Srotas, it is mentioned Ati Baddhata. There will be obstructed defecation, or that means constipation will be seen. Same Ati Baddhata of prana or the respiration is observed in Pranava Srotas. That Ati Baddhata or obstruction is actually Sangha type of Srotodushti. Then Siranam Granthi. Granthi is actually Kutilata. Kutilata means any impairment in the Sira. Here the word Sira is actually indicating Srotas only. It is Srotas only. It is the structural impairment in the Srotas. If there is a structural impairment in the Srotas, that is also considered as one of the variety of Srotodushti. Like Sira Granthi is considered as one of the Lakshan of Mamsava Srotodushti. In Mamsava Sroto Vikara, Sira Granthi is mentioned. So that is because there is a structural deformity in the Srotas. Then Vimarga Gamana. Vimarga Gamana means if the contents of one Srotas is moving from one Srotas to another Srotas, then we call it as Vimarga Gamana. For example, if there is an abnormal connection between the Mutra Marga and Purusha Marga, then the Mutra may enter into Purusha Marga from the Mutra Marga, or Purusha may enter into Mutra Marga from the Purusha Marga. So, so that is what Vimarga Gaman is mentioned. The content is moving from one Srotas to another Srotas because of some abnormal connections. So either Ati Pravritti, Sangha or Sira or the structural impairment in the Srotas, or movement of contents from one Srotas to another Srotas abnormally, are considered as the four varieties of Srotodushti. And in Ashtanga Sangara, Sroto with the Lakshana is mentioned. If Sroto Moola if get injured, what are the Lakshanas are observed? If the Sroto Moola or the Srotas is get injured, we observe different types of Lakshanas like Brahma, it is giddiness, then Moha, delusions, Kampa, tremors, Pralapa, irrelevant talking, Admana, distension, Shula, severe pain in that region, Aruchi, tastelessness, Trut, thirst, Chardi, vomiting, Jwara. Jwara is because of fever, and Ati Rudira Srava, excessive Rakta Srava. Similarly, obstruction to the Mutra Purisha, obstruction of the flow of Mutra and Purisha, and even Marana. Even if you see any injury to any of the organs, if the bleeding is too much, so because of the severe bleeding, the person will end up in shock. So hemorrhagic shock, we call it as hemorrhagic shock. In the hemorrhagic shock, we may observe all these signs and symptoms, whatever it is mentioned, like a giddiness, or it may be thirst, or it may be the irrelevant talk, distension of the abdomen or admana, shula, or it may be the constipations, or even the death. So generally we can understand, because of injury to the Srotomoola, there will be severe blood loss, severe Raktakshaya, which is resulting in hemorrhagic shock or the hypovolemic shock, and finally person will end up in Marana. So the last point in this chapter, it is actually, so we discussed about Sira, Dhamani and Srotas. So generally, some are considering this Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are similar. Few are considering Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are different. We will see why they are considered as similar, why they are considered different. So this is explained in Sushruta Shareera ninth chapter in the initial sloka. So he gives four causes or four reasons why Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are different from one another. So that is Vishishtata. So he gives the reason Vyanjananyatvat, Moola Sanniyamat, Karma Vaisheshyat, Agamat. Vyanjananyatvat means Lakshana Anyatvat. So if you see the Lakshanas or the qualities of Sira, Dhamani, Srotas, they are different as it is mentioned. So Vatavasira is having Arunavarna, Pittavasira is Neelavarna. Like this, they have mentioned the qualities for Vatavasira. Similarly, in the Srotas, they mentioned Swadhatu Samavarna. Srotas is having the color similar to the Dhatu which is flowing. They have mentioned separate Lakshana for Srotas, and they have not mentioned any Lakshana separately for Dhamani, but they mentioned it is having Ka, some empty space within it. So they have mentioned separate Lakshanas for Sira, Dhamani, Srotas. That's why we can say they are different. Second one is Moola Sanniyamat. Moola Sanniyam is Moola Vishishtat. So at the Moola Sthana, the Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are different. So it is mentioned there are 40 Moola Siras. Near the Moola Sthana, Siras are 40 in number, whereas Dhamanis are 24. But Srotas, they are actually either 13 or 11 pairs. Antarmukha Srotas, they mention 11 pairs or 13. So if you go through the Moola Sira or Moola Dhamani and Moola Srotas, the number is different. So that's why we may say Sira, Dhamani, Srotas as different. Then Karma Vaisheshat. If you go through the functions of Sira, Dhamani, Srotas, different. As I told, Dhamani is responsible for Indriyartha Sannikarsha, and Sira is responsible, different functions they mentioned. Uh, Vatavasira is responsible for all types of karma and jnana prapti. Pittavasira is responsible for brajishnuta, etc. And in the context of Srotas, I told Srotas is responsible for carrying the paranama apadyamana dhatu from one place to another place. So all the functions of Sira, Dhamani, Srotas are different. So we may consider them as different. and Agama. Even in the Apta Vachana, they mentioned Sira Damani Srotas as different. That's why he says Manat Damanya, Sravanat Srotamsi, Saranat Sira. He clearly differentiated them. So based on these four factors, we may consider Sira Damani Srotas as different. And if you see the similarity between Sira Damani Srotas, it is mentioned Paraspara Samnikarsha. As all the Sira Damani Srotas are present very close to each other, it is difficult to differentiate it. So that's why we may consider them as similar. Sadrish Agama. So as I told, all the Sira Damani Srotas are actually the Shareera Dhatu Avakashas where Dhatus resides. Based on that, we may consider Sira Dhamani Srotas as similar because all the three structures are holding Shareera Dhatu within them. Sadrisha karma, even though we say they have different karma, but general karya of these Sira Dhamani Srotas is supporting the deha or maintaining the deha or nourishing the deha. As nourishing the deha is the Samanya karma, we may consider them as similar. Sira Dhamani Srotas as similar. And these Sira Dhamani Srotas are very minute structures present in our body. When they are very minute, it is difficult for us to differentiate them. And, and they are, even though they are minute, they are located closely. So as they are located closely and minute, it is difficult to differentiate them. So with this, I'll conclude my topic. So we may say that Sira is actually the one in which something is flowing. Damani is the one which is something is flowing, as well as there is a Manat additionally. Srotas is the one in which something is flowing. Along with that, there is a Sravanata. And so regarding the exam, you may expect some questions like uh, define Srotas, classify it, and explain Annava Srotas. Like this, we may expect for 5 marks. Or you may expect explain Antarmukha Srotas according to Sushruta, explain the Moolas of Antarmukha Srotas according to Sushruta. Like this, you may expect questions in the context of Srotas. Similarly, in the MCQ, you may expect questions like Stana is considered as Moola of Shukravas according to Sushruta, dash is considered as Moola of Shukravasrotas. They may give multiple options. One of the option may be Sthana. So only Sushruta considers Sthana as the Moola of Shukravasrotas. So like this, so we may expect questions related with the Moola Sthana in the context of MCQ in Srotas. Similarly, you may expect questions like define Srotas, classify it and explain any one Srotas, or explain Moola of Srotas according to Antarmukha Srotas according to Charaka, or Moola of various Srotas according to Charak Sushruta. So like this, you may expect 5 marks question. In case of Dhamani, you may expect MCQ type of questions normally, like uh, number of Urthvaga Dhamani, number of Adoga Dhamani, or number of Tiryagga Dhamani, or number of total Dhamani, or dash is considered as Moola of Dhamani, like Rudaya or the Nabi, according to Sushruta, dash is considered as Moola of Dhamani, or total number of Toya Vahadamani. So, or total number of Anna Vahadamani. So, like this, you may expect some MCQ type of questions in the Damani. And in Sira, even though they are allotted 4 marks, there is a possibility of 5 marks question also. You may expect 5 marks question, or you may expect MCQ. So if it is a 5 marks question, they may ask define Sira, then explain functions of Sira, or they may ask define Sira and explain Sankhya and arrangement of the Sira in our body. So like this, you may expect a question, or explain Sira in detail, may be asked. Or you may expect some MCQ type of questions like Moola of Sira, or Moola Siras, total number of Moola Sira. Total number of Moola Sira is 40. Or they may ask questions like total number of avedhya sira, or number of avedhya sira present in Jatrurdva, number of avedhya sira present in Madhya Shareera, number of avedhya sira present in Shaka. So like this, you may expect a MCQ type of questions, or you may expect some 5 marks question like explain sira in detail, or define sira, then classify it and explain the functions of different types of sira. Like this, you may expect some 5 marks question. With this, I conclude. Any doubts? And I wanted to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity. Thank you once again. Hello?
Sir, it is
Yeah,
not joy that makes us grateful, it is gratitude that makes us joyful. As this quote indicates, thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to take up this session. It was really interesting to hear you, sir. I'm sure many will be beneficial from today's session. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your knowledge among us. Now,
thank
since
you.
we have come to the end of the session, it's time to wind up the session. Thank you, sir, and all the viewers of our channel.
Thank you.